Your Sirius Step of the Day is sponsored by Soulmart.me. Watch, shop, learn.
Namaste, my friends. How are you today? How are you feeling? Take a good feel on your vibration. Do you feel anything special? Today's step one. Step one is the one channel that channels love. That's what my research has shown over the years. So when we're in step one, this is the one day that God Universe will just pour love on the earth. There's another day that it happens. That's when the moon crosses Venus, and I call that Love Fest Day. So that day is an also balancer day. So really there's 2 days a month that God Universe will deliberately pour consciousness onto the earth. There's 1 day a month, yesterday, step 0, that the universe will protect the earth. And that's a very special, interesting thing about step 0 and step 1. You only get it once in a cycle. But all the other numbers you get once and twice, and you'll see as it adds up through the cycles of the steps. But today in step 1, it's about what is number 1. And yesterday I talked about the solar system and how you are the sun and your consciousness is orbiting around you. And so number 1 represents exactly what it says. Number 1. That's you. Number 1. And I love how numerology works in complete synchronicity with how the states of awareness are. Colors, shapes, smells, everything is according to God Universe's plan, which is this wonderful matrix of dynamic free will in manifestation. Step 1 is the expression of that truth. A lot of times in my astrology, after predicting daily horoscopes and stuff for over 7 years, I have seen now the experience that on a step 1 day people feel good. They return to the reason why they're alive again. They return to their heart. I see the power of the sun. And sometimes this actually creates some havoc because if people have been hurting inside, then this surge of love will create pain because you'll be so aware of where your heart is lacking. And so, you know, this is the complexity of an astrologer. It's like, ooh, how do you determine how the, client's going to take it? And my response has been, just tell the client the ways it can manifest and let them diagnose themselves. So in that concert, if you're having a hard, hurtful day today, your heart needs some attention, okay? And that's why it's hurting. Now, it needs attention because that's your job first. And that's what I teach in step astrology, is that we must walk out the door feeling whole and feeling like a total solar system before we let our planets get entangled with other people's planets, right? So today, if you're hurting, well, then we have some tips for you that will help you focus on your heart today in Guardian Agency. Now, for those who are shining, this is good too, because you are feeling your purpose today. And depending on what state of awareness we're in, if we're in, Aries or Taurus or Gemini or Cancer or whatever, in each of those states, when you go to step 1, your heart is checking on that state. So in step 1, the Royal Majesty is checking on the Royal Executioner, or is checking on the Smartass, or etc., etc. When the Sun is in Gemini, the Royal Majesty is checking on the I think state of awareness for a full month. And so the royal king or queen goes around, the sun goes around and checks on all of the subjects. Each subject, each state of awareness gets 1 month of focus. And on the first day, it's when the queen or king arrives to the royal state of awareness and says, how is everything here? And that's what today is. How is everything? Do you feel love? Do you not feel love? Do you feel the king or queen arriving to that state of awareness? Do you not? Is that state of awareness starved? Is that state of awareness alive and happy? Is it responding? Is it interacting? So is your ego talking to you? Is your ego mad? You know, and it doesn't matter, really, frankly, who you are watching this video, because you are on a tour, and that's one thing the Guardian Agency does, is it shows you how each month you are now touring a different part of your state of awareness, and, you know, and therefore, you know, we're all going to have to check in on all of us, and each of us are checking on one part of us a month. The universe has it synchronized, so everyone, you know, gets the same amount of sun. It's like God turns the plant equally, except the universe had the Earth rotate around the sun instead, to rotate the garden around the sun. So today in step 1, it really is, are you the center of your universe? Do you feel like you're number one? Are you number one in your life? Do you feel like number one? If you're not, you have put yourself there. Correct, right? And oh, it's okay. You know, self-compassion is absolutely necessary in order to give yourself the flexibility to spiritually adapt to the situation. So whatever you are today, you want to be totally self-compassionate. And even when you're in your total joy, you want to be self-compassionate. So it's like, oh, that's so cute, I'm in joy. That's self-compassion. That's this part of you reflecting on you and putting energy back into you. And that's what I sense is really about. The Royal Wizard is, you know, allowing yourself to understand on a universal sense why you should never judge yourself, why you are perfect in the sense of the whole universe. And there's always a reason why you are perfect, and you may not understand why, and that's why you should be compassionate and wait a second. Because if you just wait a second, you'll see why you fit in. And so compassion teaches that. And so even when we're shining and we have a hard time, you know, really just owning it, and, you know, like today, if you are feeling I love myself, the I love step 1, if you feel it, shine. Shine. And some people won't respond well today because their hearts are hurting, and so they didn't. So their inner child is jealous, you know, and so therefore, you know, they may not react well. And I think when you're shining, you know, what you want to do in that case is shine brighter, not in a snotty pants way, but in an inspiration way, right? That's where we are. That's where we are light working there. When we are in our light and we encounter darkness and we turn up the light, that's the work. Turning it up, that's the work right there. So if you're out there doing light work, great. If you're a light keeper, you're holding the light, great. If you're just out working on your own solar system, great. Everyone is in their purpose today. And the question is do you feel your heart? Does it matter in the moment? Are you carrying your heart with you? Will the king or queen be there with you all the time? Is your whole life from the king or queen's perspective? Or is your whole life dominated by this month's state of awareness? You can't let this one orbit layer affect the whole solar system. And there's only one way to keep the whole solar system in line, to be heart-centric. And today is a day of heart-centricity. I just invented that word right here with you. So have a fabulous day, my friends, and I'll be back tomorrow for step 2.
Who cares?
So